So that means this ankle went this way, something got damaged on this side. Now I want to give her support to hold it this way. So I'm pulling her into eversion. She had an inversion ankle sprain, a sprain to the lateral side. Because she's got a really hairy leg, we need to use pre-wrap, right? So, heel and lace pads. They help with blisters and tape cuts, reducing the friction. Got a little lube in there. When I put that on, I'm going to put one on here, right on that crotch of her foot, and right in the back. That's where her tape is going to cut her in on the back side or on the front. There's where my heel and lace pads are. Pre-wrap, I'm going to put on as little as possible. I'm just covering up her hairy foot. And on my first anchor, watching at the contour of the leg, always going with the contour of the leg. I cannot force this to go where I want it. It has to go where it needs to. I doubled up about half the distance, roughly. 2 anchors. Anchor, pulling up on the arch. Critical that you're pulling up on the arch, not getting too tight on that 5th side, or outside of the 5th. So I've got my 2 anchors on. Now I go over to my straps. Starting on the inside, pulling her into eversion. Her sprain is here. I'm going to give her a little boost on this side. I'm going to put in an external muscle or ligament because that one's damaged. I'm going to give her one. Okay. At this point, I'm pulling up this way. I like to cut it and pull. You can see at this point when her ankle actually moves in that direction. That's where I want to give her the extra support. Push it in here, give it a little rub, and hit it with another anchor so it doesn't move. Repeating that 2 more times, slightly more posterior and inferior from that one. Pulling it up, here's where I give the pressure. I didn't put my tape down, but I did give that extra rub there. Third one, again, always pulling up that eversion side, or pulling up into eversion. Snug pull, rub, and hit it so it stays on.
Those are practically all in the same spot.
Very little version.
Okay.
She doesn't have a very big foot.
Okay.
So you want to stay in that spot. I can't come real far forward because I'm not going to get the eversion pull. So if I had a very big leg, that would splay that out just a little bit farther. But in this one, it stays just about the same spot. It moves forward and back by a quarter of the tape. Okay. So now I've done my straps. Now I'm going to do my horseshoes. Horseshoes go behind the back. I like to pull it apart. And again, I'm laying it right across the back side and up. Left to right does not matter in this situation. Slight bit of overlap. It's still staying down here on the back of the ankle, the back of the calcaneus. Just because I like to make that nice and clean, I'm going to put another anchor down on the bottom. Always coming up on the arch for this one. Always coming up on the arch. That one's the important one. Come the straps, making sure they're in eversion also. Patient's staying up. Okay. Now I'm evaluating. I see I've got an extra spot here. I've got a spot there. I want to make sure that those are pretty and covered up so there isn't any skin bulging out. So I'm always watching for where I have openings. But now I have to move into my heel locks. I'm going to do 2 on one side and 2 on the other side. I'm going to alternate them, but that final goal is to have 2 on each side. Starting at the center, behind the heel, back up to where I started. This is your big snug hug. Doing the opposite side. Starting in the top, going behind and back up. I'm going to do that other side one more time. Start here, go behind, and up. Should feel nice and snug. Not too tight, but nice and snug. Last heel lock. Top, around, and up. Very important that you're watching on this one. I'm going to do this one a third time just to show you. If I start in the wrong spot, I come up, all of a sudden I'm pulling up here. We have to avoid that point right there. Base of the fifth metatarsal. Painful spot. You can cut off that too hard. Okay? So I don't want to do that. The reason that's there is because I started at the wrong angle. Okay? That needed to start slightly more angled this way. So if you're coming across and pulling up, and you're pulling up onto this point here, and it's coming down the foot, your angle is wrong. Okay? You need to be ending up right here. I can't just move it, because then that happened. That was just for example. Now I've got all my pieces and parts together, so now I'm going to make it a little bit prettier, make sure those holes are covered. I did cover up those ones I saw on the back, but it looks like I've got a little bit more on the arch. So anytime coming back to the arch, I again have to come from the bottom, from the lateral side, and pull up on the medial side of the arch, giving the extra support in the arch. So all my holes are good. I want to close it up. So I'm going to put a closure on the bottom, make sure there aren't any rough, ugly edges. Then my sock may pull it off, giving a little extra pretty and support. Again, this is individual pieces. I don't run it all the way up with one roll. I just give it a couple extra closures to make it look nice and secure. No loose ends. This one has a little thin spot right there. Just want to make sure that skin isn't going to have a problem underneath. Look at it. Her heel's open, comes up to the right length, not too far up, doesn't restrict it from her pointing her toes if she was a gymnast and having some movement, but it is limiting her movement. That is the purpose. So if I wanted to pull her back into inversion, it's not allowing it. It's restricting. That was the purpose. I can't move her that way because that's nice and stiff. Done.